What's going on YouTube? My name's Justin. Welcome to this video. We're going to be discussing whether credit cards are good or bad. And my answer is, it depends. Let's get to it. Before we dive into this, I wanted to make note that according to the Federal Reserve in the beginning of 2019, the average interest rate on a credit card account was about 15%, and the average consumer's credit card debt was about $6,700. When it comes to determining if a credit card is a good thing or not, you have to look at the pros and the cons. And in this video, that's exactly what we're going to be doing. Number one on our list of cons of using a credit card is interest payments or late fees. Not only are these interest payments just money that you're giving away simply for borrowing the money, they can really add up to be a lot of extra money. Let's assume that you're trying to get out of your credit card debt and you have the exact average of about $6,700 that the Federal Reserve had said at that 15% interest rate. If you're paying down this debt at $200 a month, which is reasonably fair for a lot of people, especially living paycheck to paycheck, you're going to be paying close to $1,900 just in interest to try and get out of debt. So now your $6,700 is costing you a lot more. Using that same example, if you up that $200 to about $400, you're still going to be spending about $800 just on interest charges. That's insanity. Just think about the amount of financial goals and life goals that you could be accomplishing by not having to pay these interest payments. I mean, that $1,900, that's a vacation for a lot of people, for most people. And just think that you're getting rid of that money because you wanted to borrow money. Number two on our list is overspending. Consumers have a tendency to spend a little bit more money on their purchases when swiping their credit card instead of using cash or their debit card. The reason for this overspending is quite simple. When you swipe a credit card, you're not seeing any sort of value go away. You're not seeing your bank account go down. You're not seeing cash leave your wallet. You're simply sitting there with a balance that'll eventually hit your statement that you can pay. And the reason this becomes an issue is because a lot of times when we spend on the credit card, we don't have the money in our bank account to pay that balance. So we tell ourselves, I'll have money once the next paycheck comes in. The issue is so many people are living paycheck to paycheck that they never seem to quite pay that off. And then it becomes habitual to just keep swiping their credit card and overspending and never being able to pay off their monthly balance. Researchers have found that when you spend with a debit card, not as much as though cash, you actually activate the pain receptors in the brain and it hurts to hand a cashier cash. You don't get that same sort of pain when you hand them a debit card or a credit card. However, you do still spend more on a credit card because you kind of just know that you have that cash in your bank account when you give them your debit card, and you don't really want to see that go down too much, so you spend just a little bit less than a credit card. So moving into the pros, one of the big pros of using a credit card is being able to reap the benefits of the benefits. Now I have to say, credit card rewards are not going to make you a millionaire, and you need to just disregard that idea from your mind right now. Most banks are offering, or just cards in general, are offering about only 1% to 2% cash back with some extra bonuses here and there that you can capitalize on. But you'd have to spend $100,000 just to get $1,000 back on a 1% cash back card. That's not going to make you a millionaire. So again, disregard that idea. However, when you use your credit card in conjunction with a budget, which is the topic of discussion in one of my next few videos, you can really reap the benefits of these benefits because you're not overspending. You're making sure that everything you spend is on paper. You know where every single dollar that you're making is going before you even swipe your card, so you know that you're going to be able to pay off that balance every month, not hurt your credit score, and get your benefits. Now, to be real, the only benefit I could think of was being able to capitalize on these benefits through the utilization of a budget. Credit cards are incredibly dangerous for most people. Most people can't pay off their balance at the end of the month and they're just accruing interest. This sort of financial instability can just ruin marriages and families altogether. So if you're looking at this video trying to make your decision on whether or not you should get a credit card, I would encourage you to at least get your financial life in order through only using cash or your debit card before you even consider getting a credit card. Make sure that you're doing a budget and that when you get your credit card, you're not overspending you're not accruing interest payments. Because if you get those things, that is just going to spiral you down into financial instability, and that is not what we're about. So to recap this video, we went over the pros and the cons of utilizing a credit card. Really the only pro that I could think of was using your credit card in conjunction with a budget to reap the benefits of these credit card rewards. The two cons I could really think of that really cripple people were the interest payments or any sort of fees associated with them, and the overspending that comes from not being able to determine how much you can spend. So thank you so much for checking out this video. Like I said earlier in the video, one of my next few videos is going to be on budgeting, so stay tuned for that. And as always, keep the discussion going on in the comment section. Bring up other things that you could think of that might deter people or attract people to the use of credit cards. Also, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. And when you subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'll see you next week.